All right, guys. Welcome to the WAN show. The what now?
Lawsuit show.
The lawsuit show. Yeah, there's going to be some lawsuit topics today. No one is suing us for being late all the time. You know,
No.
False advertising.
I was just going to say, is that...
how long when we're going to go live.
Is it false advertising if you're just actually a failure?
I don't know. I mean, this is starting to sound like sort of Kickstarter territory here. So can you get sued for being terrible at life? Maybe.
Maybe. It depends.
Not a clear answer there. However, you can get sued for saying a graphics card has 4 gigs of memory if it does indeed have 4 gigs of memory, but in fact, an eighth of it runs at a lower speed. So NVIDIA has settled the graphics card false advertising class action. Microsoft also faces 2 new lawsuits over their aggressive Windows 10 upgrade tactics. Are you going to do 2 of them, or am I going to do 2 more? I'll do 2 more. Verizon buys Yahoo for $4.83 billion. It's too bad they spent so much on it, because I was going to make a play for Yahoo with my, maybe $40 that I got in my wallet.
That might not be worth it.
It was going to be a tough call. Without that $40, how would I go play badminton tonight?
That, or you could buy 20 cans of pop and 20 chocolate bars.
And I could feel really terrible the next day, which is about how I'd feel if I bought Yahoo.
That's true.
Also, using a VPN in the United Arab Emirates could make you feel pretty bad. Speaking of feeling bad, I almost missed that segue there.
It, though.
Could get you fined up to $545,000 US. So, let's run the intro, which is the only thing that I wasn't 100% sure if it was going to work today.
Yeah! Is the audio good?
I'm not sure.
Oh. Shake
Okay. Oh,
Clearly.
crap. Oh, I forgot to do one thing. There, boom. Now it'll work next time. Okay.
Nice. Good
All
job.
Good.
I wish there was an option to reset the scene every time you left it.
No, that is. Oh, well,
no,
like reset
the whole
all the
scene.
Oh.
So you could save what the scene was like, and then it could revert to it every time.
It would be very specifically useful for us for that one scene. I don't know that XSplit will implement that, but we've asked for features before and they've done it. So,
yes.
All right, so guys, it is with a glad heart that I can reveal that I have finally resolved all the issues that I had with the streaming setup here. We're using the Razer Siren Pro, which for whatever, you guys always complain that the audio was too quiet. And I think part of the problem is that we're using microphones with a cardioid pickup pattern as 2 people, and so we couldn't turn them up high enough without introducing distortion. Siren Pro works well for some reason in this application. I don't know why. The other thing is that we had a mishmash of capture cards from Elgato, Avermedia, and Blackmagic, including cards from their Decklink as well as their Intensity lineup. It seemed like from week to week, one or the other could be responsible for everything being completely bunged up. We are now consolidated. We are using all Epiphan capture cards, a combination of them, and we actually have more input devices now, so I can do this with Linus's screen, or I can do this with Luke's screen. Whoa!
Hooray!
So we can both screen share now. Also, this is a really funny bug that
we can prove that we're watching the show now.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because people will see the chat on my screen.
So this is a really funny bug that I was having with the Elgato card, was where it would take like 8 seconds to switch scenes. So I would bring up the article that we were talking about, and it would be sitting there, and I wouldn't be able to change to my notes on it, and I would always just have to kind of kill 10 seconds after I clicked.
Yeah.
So, this is a pretty interesting article that I'm planning to talk to you about, but I don't have any of my exact notes. Here's some kind of, a thing that blah, blah, blah. Here's what's going on.
Yeah.
So we're pretty much solved as far as issues go. I'm super thrilled. And yes, I got a sunburn. Thank you for making that observation. I also got a spray tan on the same day that I went out and got a sunburn.
Are you sunburnt on your face?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my face is like wicked burnt. Like, yeah.
I don't think my face is very burnt.
Well, you were wearing a bucket.
Rough. Yeah. I did everything I could possibly do to not get sunburned, including just putting a bucket on my head and like putting my shirt on every opportunity I had.
And I don't even know how much of this is spray tan.
Or burn. It's so hard to figure it out.
Or burn. Yeah, because I actually, and this was really hard, but I went home, had a shower, and like scrubbed. Because I was trying to get spray tan off. So I scrubbed a sunburn when I got home from the shoot yesterday. I
scrubbed a little bit, but I'm not burnt as bad.
Should we tell them what we were shooting and why your beard is shaved? Why I have a sunburn.
How long till it's going to be coming out?
It's going to be at least 2 to 3 weeks. But should we tease it anyway? Maybe we should tease it anyway.
I kind of think so. Can we show the original?
I think we should tease it anyway. I don't want to show the original and get the monetization pulled off WAN show. Because that'll probably happen.
Okay.
But we did as close as we could a shot-for-shot reenactment of the volleyball scene from Top Gun.
Now, mind you, none of us are shredded enough for it, except for maybe Linus.
But, okay, the funny thing about... Okay, so we're talking body fat percentage when you say sort of shredded in that context.
But isn't that what that means in that context?
No, because I'm not I'm not bulky enough.
But you look shredded. That's what it's all about.
Is that
you could be jacked as shit, but have too high of a body fat percentage and not look shredded.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, fine. I might be shredded enough, but I'm just not bulky enough. Like in the picture,
is Tom Cruise bulkier there?
He's bulkier there for sure. Okay. I kind of wanna tweet this right now or something so that I can. There's a picture of me with. Okay, I'll just even Taryn. Okay, there's a picture of me with all 3 of the other guys that are doing the volleyball game, and I look tiny. I look like even though my body fat percentage is quite low, I look like the pinnerest dude next to Burkle, who I'm pretty sure has forearms bigger than my biceps.
I think, because I think my forearm might be bigger than your bicep.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And so between the two of you...
Burkle's like massive. So.
Yeah, Burkle's chest is like huge.
Burkle's chest could probably bench press like by itself.
Yeah,
if you give it like
he could probably
a
bench
bar.
With his pecs.
Yeah.
My entire body weight.
But like not using his arms.
And like, Taryn, in the time I've known him...
Has completely changed physically.
Like, he was like the stereotypical... And don't take this the wrong way, but he was
He still has no athletic ability, so he can't use his strength, but he's quite strong now.
But he was like the stereotypical vegetarian. And I don't mean that rudely in any way, vegetarian diet.
And there are super jacked vegetarians.
There are lots of jacked vegetarians, but it's like the vegetarian from like the Dilbert comic, like the caricature of a vegetarian.
It's a super like to the T stereotypical one.
Yeah, like the stereotypical vegetarian. The guy was like, 6 or 7 inches taller than me and weighed about the same as I did. It was bad.
He's been very intentionally putting on weight and very intentionally working.
He looks good. He looks good. Anyway, so I play Tom Cruise, Maverick. Some of you have probably seen Taryn's picture on social media where he shaved. Oh man, the pedo stash is far too real. Actually, I'm going to pull this up.
It's gone now, and that's probably a good thing.
It's gone now?
Yeah, he shaved it off.
Oh, he shaved the pedo stash. Oh, yeah. That's fine. No, I thought you meant his picture that he tweeted is gone.
I doubt that's gone.
No, I'm pretty sure he tweeted a picture here. Where's the pedo stash? Where's the pedo stash? No, I don't see it. I don't see it.
Did he take it down?
Maybe he took it down.
Is it on the LTT one?
Maybe he tweeted on the LTT handle.
I didn't put mine on the LTT one because it's a CSF thing. It's not LTT.
Yeah, that's the same reason I didn't tweet anything yesterday. Okay, I can't find... I feel like terrible right now. Like I really want to... Okay, whatever. You guys.
Get him?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
It's ridiculous.
So Taryn's Goose. Okay, so what's your character's name?
Iceman.
Iceman.
I think it's Iceman.
Burkle is it Slider or something?
I don't know.
I don't remember. Anyway, Luke and Burkle are like the mean rivals, and then Taryn and I play Tom Cruise and Goose, and it's just bad. The twist is that we use an inflatable volleyball that's like this big. It should be good. It should be good. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. I'm not making it sound very good, but maybe.
Okay, I think his name is either Stinger, Viper, Jester, or Merlin. I'm not sure which one. I am Iceman.
You're Iceman. All right,
and
excellent.
And then Goose and Maverick were correct.
All right, so let's move on to some actual news topics here, shall we? The original article here is from topclassactions.com. NVIDIA settles graphics card false advertising class action. So they've agreed to a preliminary settlement that will resolve claims in a group of proposed class action lawsuits that center around allegations that the company misled consumers about the performance and quote-unquote storage capabilities of its product. Though it should be noted that I wouldn't call VRAM storage. I already posted that. Yeah. I wouldn't call VRAM storage in sort of the strictest sense of the word. NVIDIA says then that it will pay every buyer of a GTX 970 $30, and they will pay $1.3 million in additional attorney's fees. So there you go. We had talked about this at the time. We had said we felt like a class action was going to be pointless. What are you going to get? $5? You know what? $30
is decent.
$30 buys you an appy and an entree, but not a drink at a restaurant.
And I just order waters.
Yeah, I drink water too.
So that's a good, like, big, probably going to take some home meal.
Yep, that's right.
Nice.
That's right. That's going to be your dinner and your midnight snack.
Yeah.
While you're gaming on your GTX 970, which is still a very good card.
Yep.
So, you know, I don't want to beat this dead horse any more than we already have, you know, like pure ghost loads out of that horse at this point. But the 970 is still a good card. They shouldn't have done that.
No, I think they deserved this.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yep.
I didn't think it was going to work. Because I thought they were going to get away with in the legal court, like, there's technically 4 there.
And there are.
That's
the funny thing about it, is
It is misleading, and they do deserve it.
I can't imagine they saved a lot of money building the card this way.
I don't feel like it would be $30 a card.
Because they did put 4 gigs of RAM on it. Like, they bought the memory. They put it on there. So they actually had to pay for the memory, and then they had to pay out to their customers as though they didn't.
So now, yeah, I don't know.
Lesson learned, right?
Don't screw with the internet.
So the overall settlement amount was not publicly disclosed within the court papers.
It's going to be a lot.
But NVIDIA did say that there would be no cap on the total amount it would pay, and they would pay all consumers who purchased a 970 graphics card. I guess I don't count because mine are review samples. That'd be pretty sick, though, if we could turn in our 970s for $30. Yeah. Go get some dinner, some appies.
Pretty sweet. Yeah. I mean, with the amount that we had, we could get...
I don't think we had that many 970s.
At least 2.
Yeah, we had
$60.
Yeah, $60.
There you go.
And it's US dollars, so like...
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
$600.
What's up, you know?
That is pretty sweet, though. And I'm happy that it happened this quickly. And I know some people are going to be like, what? Like, this happened forever ago. But these things sometimes take, like, what was it, DDR2 or something? There was some, like, $15 rebate or $20 rebate on DDR2 purchases.
Oh, I don't know.
And it happened, like, 10 years later.
Yeah,
or something
and
insane.
There was an Intel one that was, like, 6 or 7 years down the line. Everyone got $15 or $10 or something like that.
So $30 is, I feel, a pretty good amount of money. And it happened relatively recently afterwards.
Yeah, it was it was the right thing for NVIDIA to just settle it, because that's why it got done so quickly, was that they settled it rather than dragging this out into a really long court battle. I mean, to be clear, I don't think they'd have settled it if they thought they could win it, but...
Yeah. What was I going to say? Right, there's no form up yet to, like, apply to get your $30, just in case anyone's, like, scrambling, trying to get their money. I think this Top Class Actions website is going to post something about it once it's up. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to get you to sign up for their newsletter. I would probably just come back to this website instead of signing up for their newsletter.
So basically, there were a total of 15 consumer class action lawsuits that were consolidated in Northern California. NVIDIA denied all allegations of wrongdoing and then entered into the settlement terms and agreed to the terms of the settlement. And then the $30 is not arbitrary. It's calculated to represent a portion of the cost of the storage and performance capabilities the consumers thought they were obtaining when they purchased the card.
That's like around like 11% of the cost?
Yeah, something like that. It's a pretty more than fair is what I would call that. Cool. Speaking of
Although there's something to be said for like you think you buy a product and you don't get that, and it wasn't even necessarily as much about the money.
Right.
So you should probably get more than the difference, which is probably what happened.
But I don't think that's usually how these things work.
I have no idea.
So,
no clue.
All right, let's move on to our next topic here. Another lawsuit topic. The original article here is from Extreme Tech. I'm going to pull this up. You want to post it?
Yep.
All right. Microsoft slapped with class action lawsuits over Windows 10 upgrade practices.
Good.
Dun, dun, dun. So they're facing 2 more lawsuits over their questionable upgrade tactics. Both suits are seeking class action status. The first one was filed in the U.S. District Court in Florida and alleges that the Microsoft Windows 10 upgrade prompts violated laws governing unsolicited electronic advertisements, which is a really interesting way of tackling it, because you could sort of make the argument that, and this is kind of getting into a pretty fuzzy area here, you could sort of make the argument that, let's say, Apple putting in iTunes update notification in the bottom of your screen all the time is like advertising impressions, because they're showing you the Apple name and the iTunes name and their or like if they had like a logo or something in there, like you could almost take it one step further and go,
okay, but then it's like
putting
putting a brand name on something. Is that advertising then?
If it's unsolicited.
Because the Windows 10 one was an entire window that popped up on your screen. It wasn't like a notification in the corner. It was like, hey, upgrade to Windows 10, and it did it all the time and would do it forcefully.
Okay, but hold on a second. So yes, they basically put a billboard on your computer. That is different.
Yeah.
But they weren't trying to sell you anything. However, in this day and age, so much software is free to play that is there really a difference between an ad for installing the Twitter app, for example, and an ad for installing Windows 10? If Microsoft was making the argument that Windows 10 was Windows 8.1 Service Pack 4 or something, like if they just kind of said, okay, yes, it's a service pack that makes everything look the same. Oh, by the way, we're going to call it Windows 10 now. Like if they weren't calling it a different product, they might have gotten away with this not being called advertising. But if they are effectively trying to get you to download and install a different product from what you have, then I kind of see that holding water.
Yeah. And the length to how aggro they went about it?
Mm-hmm. All right, so the second suit, this is more along the lines of what I expected from Windows 10 class action lawsuits. So this one alleges that Microsoft installed Windows 10 on users' computers without consent, and they've already paid out $10,000 in a previous US suit over similar circumstances. And this is a case where, because it's a Windows operating system and not part of video memory that still functioned, but just like wasn't what I thought I was getting, this one I can see people getting significant payouts for being put out by this situation where their computer doesn't work, or their computer doesn't work the way they expected. I mean,
which I hope that happens, because I'd like to receive some money for the like half a day that I lost because of that.
I mean, and it could be a lot worse than that. It could be,
but it's only not worse than that because it was me.
Yeah, like if it was,
my system is set up that it's not that big of a deal.
Like if it's your, I'm not going to say your mom, because your mom's fairly tech savvy, if I recall correctly.
She's
like, she wouldn't not be able to find the control panel because you changed the version of Windows, would she? Or like not
I
be
don't
able to
think
find her
she
programs?
Would know to look for the control panel.
Okay, like would she not be able to find her programs?
She could find her programs.
Or like her Internet Explorer
She could find
or whatever?
her internet stuff.
Yeah,
She
okay.
can do all that, yeah.
So let's talk about if it's someone who legitimately wouldn't be able to use their computer even if the upgrade worked correctly.
Right,
There's going to be people saying,
I
haven't
like
been
my mom would be fine. Yeah.
There's going to be people out there, though, that would have not been able to use their computer for potentially weeks.
I guarantee my mom would call me and be like, everything looks different, I'm scared.
And on top of that, would have had to take it to a shop to have it restored to its pre-Windows 10 upgrade. They could be paying a lot of money per instance. In the case of that $10,000 one, they ended up buying her a new computer, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
Like it was a new laptop, which I think is unjustified personally.
Yes.
But
I think they're very much just trying to get it to go away.
But with that said, the paperwork involved in having a computer serviced by some shop somewhere, like building a service network countrywide. And remember, people could have been getting Windows 10 upgrades in the middle of Timbuk-freaking-2, Kentucky. Like, it could be easier to just ship them a computer from Dell.com.
Yeah.
Which is kind of terrifying.
Oh dear.
All right, so
I'm upset about that kind of stuff, and I wish that I don't know. It's frustrating and frustrating that it also wasn't easier because I'm trying to build some LAN rigs right now, but I don't have enough cases, and I'm trying to get cases essentially for free. So there's been delays on it and whatnot. So I haven't built all of them yet. I've built a couple of them. But that means there's a few of them that I haven't done operating system installs on yet. So I guess they're just going to stay on Windows 7 because I have keys for that. I don't have keys for Windows 10. And I don't really want to buy more operating system keys for LAN rigs that don't need it.
Right.
Everyone can run DX11. That's fine because DX12 is kind of borked at the moment anyways.
Yeah, you're working on a video about that, right?
Trying to, yes.
Trying to.
I'm going to leave it at that. There are certain reasons why I am not currently able to complete it that are making me frustrated, but I'll stay away from that. I should, I think I'm getting the rest of the information that I want on August 4th, but then I'm leaving for a while on August 5th, so it's probably going to be a bit.
Yeah.
But yes, there's a video on Vulkan, the current state of Vulkan and DX12 that is on the way.
So Microsoft told the Seattle Times that it believes these suits won't succeed, although, I mean, they have to say that. What else are they going to say at this point?
One quick thing that I want to interject. Someone in the chat said, if Vulkan succeeds, you won't need Windows 10 or DX12. That's a good point. Vulkan works on everything. Android, Linux.
That's true, assuming that the game
works. There's only 4 games that it supports right now.
Yeah.
One of them is Dota. So, doesn't matter.
Nice.
No, Dota is a very important game, but it's very easy to run, and you don't need
Oh, I thought you meant specifically
No.
doesn't matter.
Dota is a very important game. I didn't mean Dota doesn't matter. I mean it being featured in Dota. The cool part of that means that it's very you can play it on whatever you want. That part is cool because Vulkan is on everything.
Right. Okay.
Context of that got a little weird. Sorry.
I was like, wow, so much hate.
No.
So much salt.
I did not mean that at all. Dota's an important game. They've done really good thing for esports. I like how they do their tournaments.
I just realized
I don't
that
play it
the
or like it.
Only the most loyal of our viewers are watching right now.
Oh, you didn't?
Because it didn't push.
Oh my.
Da, 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 da. That's okay. There's a couple more things on that topic.
Microsoft getting wrecked?
Yeah, basically their statement is still in there.
Microsoft stated, Microsoft's marketing scheme falls short of certain protections which must be afforded. Wait, what?
Okay. I was doing this. Maybe I'll just pick
that
up
was
where I left
done.
off. Okay. So basically they said that upgrades to Windows 10 are a choice, not a requirement, which is one way of putting it, I guess, and that they offer free customer support to those that run into trouble. Have you ever tried to contact Microsoft customer support?
It's basically the worst. I don't actually think I've had a worse customer support thing from anyone.
They say people who update to Windows 10 can roll back their prior system for 31 days, which doesn't help people who are not tech savvy and whose upgrades don't complete successfully.
Yeah, or if it fails, like mine did, not completing successfully.
Yep. Yeah, so basically the lawyer that filed the Florida lawsuit said that Microsoft's marketing scheme, he calls it, falls short of certain protections which must be afforded, and then claims that the damages owed to consumers who have struggled with the new software may total tens of millions of dollars.
Correct.
And I'm kind of leaning towards, I hate to do this, but I might have to agree with a lawyer. Because I'm...
Sorry, John.
Yeah. Because I am leaning towards him being more correct about this outcome.
I totally think he's right. And I think it's going to cost them tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
100%. What? Right? What? No.
No, it's all good, John. Don't worry. Everything's fine. All right, speaking of everything being good, you and I had some more experience than usual with Dollar Shave Club razors each.
So I don't think I've clean shaven since 2012. I think in the first WAN show I was in, I think I'm clean shaven then.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think.
Yeah.
So it's like weird. And I didn't realize how like spiky it is if you're trying to let it grow back.
Yeah.
So like this morning I woke up and was like, my hand's stuck.
Oh, it's like sandpaper. Yeah.
Holy crap. Anyways, I did use Dollar Shave Club razors to do it.
Yep. And I used Dollar Shave Club razor to shave my chest for the first time. I didn't show a nipple, so
was
it's
that
okay
ever?
On Twitch. No, I've never.
First time ever?
Yeah, I've never shaved my chest. I've never really felt the need. I just have kind of like this weird tuft in the middle. Like I don't have a lot of chest hair.
Yeah. Is it enough that like if you wear a deep V, it's just like...
No, because they grow down.
Oh.
Yeah, like it's just kind of like this weird like thing going on. And then it's kind of weird, like all over the rest of like my shoulders and chest, like, I have like these individual
random really long one?
Random really long hairs. Like it's bizarre. Yeah. But I shaved my chest for the first time. I used, I believe it was the 4-blade. I actually borrowed Luke's. We were at the spray tan place, and I was like shaving my chest in the bathroom.
It was the executive.
Very strange experience. Was it? No, it's not the executive. That's the 6-blade one.
Oh yeah, no.
You have the one. You have the step down.
Yes, the one in the middle.
Anyway, so DollarShaveClub.com. Why don't we actually talk about their offer? It has a special offer for new members who join today. Yeah. You get a free month of the executive razor. That's their top tier when you buy a tube of Dr. Carver's shave butter, which, by the way, I also used for my chest shaving experience, because you do not want to shave blind over a nipple.
No.
Nope. That's not a thing you would want to do. So being able to see what you're doing, shave butter goes on clear, is definitely a plus.
It's trippy because back when I did used to clean shave, I had foam stuff. So I'm used to like, oh, you can see it when it's ready, but no, you can still see your face perfectly fine.
Yeah, it's actually kind of handy.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically that's the offer right now. All you got to do is go to dollarshaveclub.com/Linus if you live in Canada, the United States, or Australia, and you can be a member of the club enjoying all the great benefits like razors and other bathroom supplies, including the shave butter, their aftershave, and their One Wipe Charlies delivered directly to your door once a month, so you can use a fresh razor blade all the time and always feel good and always get a nice clean shave, and you can save money compared to going to the pharmacy or chemist or whatever it is they call it in the various countries around the world. The chemist,
apothecary.
Apothecary, is that yeah, I think that is the right, apothecary, apothecary. Anyway, the point is you save money, it gets delivered right to your door, you don't have to leave the house to look like you leave the house, and I don't think we've ever gotten a complaint from our viewers about Dollar Shave Club, which is about the strongest endorsement that I can give for anyone.
I always get comments of people being like, oh, you have a beard, how can you advertise Dollar Shave Club? One, I shave down here all the time. Two,
otherwise you'd have a neck beard.
Look, yeah, it goes down to like here, it's really bad, so I shave it and then it goes back up. Hooray!
All right, so more Windows 10 crap. The original article here is from PCGamer.com. Tim Sweeney thinks Microsoft will make Steam progressively worse with Windows 10 patches.
Go to my screen and then
Sorry?
Share my screen and then go to your thing.
Oh, share your screen.
And then get it.
Oh, I could do that. Did you post it in Twitch chat already?
I did.
So, for those of you who don't know, Tim Sweeney is the co-founder of Epic Games and created the Unreal Engine and stuff, and stuff. So like sort of a big freaking
Very big
deal. Like
deal.
he's right up there with your CarMax and your Newells. Definitely an important guy. Believes that Microsoft will work to make Steam progressively worse in order to force developers onto the Universal Windows platform, with the end game goal of essentially closing the open PC gaming ecosystem. A funny thing about this kind of, I'd love to call it tinfoil hatness, but he's a really smart guy and a savvy guy, and they are not the same thing. He's a smart guy, he's a well-connected guy, he's a savvy guy, and he's saying that he thinks that's the direction it's going. So, you know how we were giving Microsoft high fives for
Bringing PC, Xbox games to the PC platform.
for seeming like they cared about PC gamers. We might have gotten ahead of ourselves because
we might want them to not care.
They might be trying to turn PC gamers into Xbox gamers.
We might have the exact right amount of caring a few months ago.
Yeah. So
one of the things that is directly worries me in this is one of the last lines in the actual article. If my laptop stops freezing, I will get there. It says it risks turning Windows into a closed platform risks neutering new breakthroughs such as VR, and that is before they had a chance to flourish. And that is actually a pretty good point. Steam, for all the shortfalls of things like Greenlight,
Steam is not perfect.
no,
We know.
there's tons of problems. In the VR section on Steam, there's so many entire pages worth of just terrible, useless pieces of trash. And it's kind of a problem for VR right now. But at the same time, someone who creates something can get on Steam surprisingly without that much difficulty. And that can also be relatively important for VR right now, because the second someone tries something that's purely innovative and is amazing and works really well for the platform, it can push out quickly. And they don't have to jump through hoops, and it's not a closed ecosystem.
This is great. Big T 1971 asks if the WAN show is sponsored by Fake Tan this week.
Kind of.
No, but the tan is definitely fake. Or the
Look
fake
at
tan is real.
Look at this side of my arm.
Yeah.
Compared to Linus's face. There you go. This part didn't get that much spray tan.
Like, can you imagine trying to play VR games without Valve and Oculus just basically stepping up and creating their own entire ecosystem
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
them?
Yeah.
Like, it-
And like, I'm going to take a very quick aside. I promise I won't talk about it for too long. For all the flack people gave me in the Oculus Rift review from the Vive community, even though it was a negative Oculus Rift review, which still confuses me, about Oculus supporting developers and how I should have talked about it more, even though I did say that they were only supporting timed exclusives without a time. They just wanted them to release on Rift first. Anyways, Oculus has deeply funded like 70 games or something at this point. And that's actually pretty cool. So
I mean,
yeah.
we're giving Microsoft kudos for basically removing horrible things that they had before, but they've actually done very little to help VR compared to what companies like Valve and Oculus are expected to do completely on their own. I mean, not completely on their own.
And Valve has their own, just to be clear as well, Valve has their own VR funding stuff that they are doing. So like, both of those companies are doing awesome things in terms of helping VR stuff.
So anyway, to summarize, sort of, this was actually in an interview with Edge magazine. So to summarize Sweeney's comments, he basically goes, okay, look, every PC game for the last few decades has used Win32, and it's been responsible for the vibrant software market we have now, but also for malware. Any program can be a virus, and Universal Windows Platform is seen as an antidote to that. It's sandbox. It's much more locked down. But the risk is that if Microsoft convinces everybody to use it, then they phase out Win32 apps. And if they can succeed in doing that, then it's a small leap to forcing all apps and games to be distributed through the Windows Store, which, as we've seen already, it just like doesn't work with higher frame rate, doesn't work with anything. Like, just crappy. It's like, oh yeah, every game runs full screen windowed mode now. Why? How about not? How about not that? I mean, how
Yeah.
are we supposed to do things like, I don't know, benchmark a game using an application like Fraps that jumps in between the program and the driver and the output and overlays things like this? Sounds like the kind of stuff that is not going to work very well. If you lock it down and you go, look, okay, every game runs at 60 FPS, 1080p and 4K, like it wouldn't even surprise me. And I've seen games that don't support certain resolutions just because, I don't know, we just didn't think of it. Like it wouldn't surprise me if you had a 4096 by 2160 monitor, which is 4K, by the way. 3860 by 21 or 3840 by 2160 is UHD, and they're not the same thing. If you had a 4K monitor, like it wouldn't surprise me if it didn't work properly, because that standard kind of took a couple flaps of its gigantic wings and then face planted into the sand because no one cared. And I've seen stuff like that before, where weirdo resolutions like 1440 by 900 just aren't supported for some reason.
I don't know. I hate it. I hate the idea. Steam's been around forever. I think if they try to do this, though, they're going to run into crazy anti-competitive problems.
Let's hope.
In terms of legality. Especially because Steam has already been established for so long.
Yeah,
if you
but
don't think they're going to fight it, that's...
but his thing is like, if over the years they force patch Windows 10 to make Steam buggier, then people will welcome the Windows Store with open arms because they'll blame Valve. I mean, blaming Valve is a very popular thing to do. They'll blame Valve for Steam being crap, when ultimately it had nothing to do with them.
Blame Valve, but worship Newell.
Yeah, that's kind of how it works.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh, maybe I'm more sunburned than I thought. I just scratched my arm and it's like really burning now. Mm-hmm. Okay. Verizon?
The original article here is from CBC News. Verizon confirms $4.83 billion takeover of Yahoo's core business. This does not include Yahoo's shares in Alibaba, which are worth a lot, by the way, or Yahoo Japan, which counterintuitively is a separate company and actually has very little to do with normal Yahoo. So it includes their advertising, content, search, and mobile activities.
Apparently Yahoo owned 34% of Yahoo Japan. That's weird.
Yeah, go figure, right? Like, did Yahoo have content and search? Like, does anyone search on Yahoo? No. I guess Verizon must think so.
I think they also owned a lot of other things, even though it wasn't Alibaba.
Well, yeah, they
Yahoo
just
Japan.
bought AOL.
Yeah.
Which they acquired just over a year ago. This is a great, Verizon owns AOL. So Verizon seems to be collecting like these defunct web companies, like Web 1.0 companies.
Yeah.
So just a year ago, we acquired AOL to enhance our strategy of providing a cross-screen connection for consumers, creators, and advertisers.
What?
Whatever that means.
What does that mean?
Hello. And this is great. This is the rest of the statement from Verizon. The acquisition of Yahoo will put Verizon in a highly competitive position as a top global mobile media company and help accelerate our revenue stream in digital advertising. So Yahoo will be integrated with AOL. I guess maybe I'm missing something here, but
every time we talk about Yahoo, we
don't understand it.
Yeah.
Maybe we just kind of have, because okay.
Like even the FarmNet people, I don't know anyone that's on Yahoo specifically, or sorry, AOL.
Yeah, no, I mean as an ISP, I think AOL is pretty much gone, aren't they?
Yeah, I think.
I mean maybe Twitch chat. I mean I don't think anyone watching videos on Twitch is gonna be on AOL, but maybe people watching the archive at 240p or 144p are gonna let us know that they're on on AOL.
Yeah.
Yahoo Answers. Okay.
Sure.
I encounter Yahoo
That's
Answers from time to time.
Although not as much as I used to.
Yeah, not as much as I used to. These days, Quora.com comes up a lot. It's like a pay site. How are they getting submissions? Like, do they pay the people who answer the questions? I don't quite get it. Maybe.
That could be a good answer.
If so, that's kind of brilliant because the answers on there are really good. But if you want to click anything else from an answer page, it prompts you to buy a membership. But if you look at the name of that question page that you want to read and you go back and Google it, then you can go read that one for free. So it's actually just the right amount of being accessible to everyone, but putting a barricade in your way if you don't pay. I don't know. I think it's a really interesting. Yahoo Mail is apparently very popular, according to Brimalm, whose parents probably use Yahoo Mail.
So they bought Engadget.
Yeah.
That's part of it.
Okay. Sure.
Yahoo Sports.
Okay. Okay, so there's some content there. Okay. All right. Moving on. This is pretty scary.
I don't understand. I guess they like bought all the people that are technically out of touch.
Right, because I don't even know who gets their sports news from Yahoo Sports.
Or like people that use Yahoo Mail, but it still exists and people do use it. I just only know one.
Like I'm pretty sure Yvonne's parents use Yahoo Mail.
Okay.
But like...
So they bought everyone who's
over 50.
Technically out of touch, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, this is some scary business right here. If you get caught using a VPN in the UAE, you could face fines up to 545,000 US dollars. Wow. So they introduced a federal law banning the use of VPNs to try to avoid paying for expensive voice over IP services, which is a very interesting reason to care about people using VPNs. It's a royal edict from the president, making it illegal for anyone in the country to use a VPN or secure proxy server.
That's such a weird reason.
You could face jail time, by the way, and fines of between 500,000 to 2 million UAE dirham. It was announced this week by the UAE president, and because this is just like an edict, like I think this basically got sprung on people. I had not heard any rumblings of this. I had no idea. Maybe I'm wrong. The wording is apparently ambiguous and technologically illiterate, but it basically seems like you're not allowed to use systems that hide the fact that you're committing a crime or covering one up, and if you are routing network traffic, you could be evading the eyes of the state while breaking the law. Wow. So there's a tweaked law taken from the site Emirates 24/7 that says whoever uses a fraudulent computer network protocol address, or IP address, by using a false address or a third-party address by any other names for the purpose of committing a crime or preventing its discovery shall be punished by temporary imprisonment and a fine of no less than 500,000 dirham. And either of these two penalties. Wow, that's awesome. So
I don't understand, even through reading the article, I don't understand, like this section right here. VoIP over-the-top apps have been a thorn in the side of telecom operators around the world because customers no longer need to pay international calling rates to speak to their beloved ones. They can just speak to them on Skype, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Viber, or Snapchat, or whatever the hell else.
And so on and so on.
Yeah. But UAE is one of the first governments in the world to actually regulate on behalf of... So can you not use those? Because you don't need a VPN to use Skype, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Viber, or Snapchat.
No, but the problem is that in the UAE, they have pretty crappy filtering systems in place.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're filtering the internet there. People are using VPNs to get around their already restricted internet access. So this is a really interesting fact from our notes here. Less than 15% of the kingdom's inhabitants are locals, with the rest of the population made up of expatriates. So many of those people probably want access to private corporate networks and the internet without being limited by that filtering system. And it looks like, I mean, I'd like to say that I can't imagine them actually enforcing this because it seems insane. But if they were insane enough to implement this law in the first place, maybe they're insane enough to enforce it. I personally wouldn't install a VPN because I wouldn't be the one to take that bullet just to find out.
Right. That's kind of ridiculous. Unless some VPN steps up and goes like, we're untrackable, we'll pay your fine.
Yeah, but they can imprison you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good call.
I don't want to go to prison, yo.
Freaking ridiculous.
All right. 7-Eleven, this article is from TheVerge.com, just made the first commercial delivery by drone. I mean, The marketing for this just writes itself. Look up to the heavens for 7-Eleven.
Oh.
Ah!
You know what would be kind of great? If you're like out playing soccer or something, you just had like a Slurpee delivered to you.
I know, right? So it took place on July 11th, actually. And they partnered with drone startup Flirtey to make the delivery to a private residence in Reno, Nevada. They delivered a chicken sandwich, donuts, coffee, candy, and...
Slurpees!
Slurpees!
Yes!
The goods were packaged into 2 containers, each separately flown to the home, and the drone flew autonomously from the store to the household using GPS to navigate. Wow. So they've selected a store from which to deliver and surveyed customers within a 1-mile radius to see if they'd be willing to take part. This is not the first delivery that Flirtey has made, but it appears to be the first that a customer had placed as an order with the store and then had it delivered. Like the first sort of proper transaction.
Yeah.
7-Eleven said it plans to continue working with the drone company, but didn't lay out a timeline for rolling out the service to a wider region.
Right.
Pretty cool, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, we in my like still functional, somewhat, aware adult lifetime, I could live to see a world where a self-driving car picks me up in the morning, I'm like hungry or whatever, and I go, okay, yeah, I want like a Subway sandwich, here's my specs, deliver it to my work. I arrive at work in my self-driving car, having been on my phone the whole time, because by then I guess that law won't be in place anymore, unless you're driving it, in which case it's still better not to be on your cell phone.
So that law has never been in place.
But I could step out of my car, have a drone basically drop a frickin' sandwich in my hand. I could walk in, sit at my desk, eat my sandwich. My car could be running around, carting other people around, making me money.
Very
all day.
possibly in your lifetime, you might not have to go to work. Telecommuting is like a huge research section.
Yeah, I don't know about it for this, because I was kind of still planning to do this.
Okay. You're wanting to be hosting when your career's ending?
When my career's ending? No, I was thinking this could happen in like the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, but you were just talking like survivable lifespan.
Oh, no, I mean before I reach the point where I'm like all decrepit and I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, like while I'm still about as functional as I am today, give or take.
Okay. Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
Loving it. All right, I don't know how interesting that is.
Sponsor spot.
I'm sorry?
Sponsor spot.
We already did it.
Did we?
Dollar Shave.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We did it early.
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
No, we did it
didn't
on
start
time.
Drastically late.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Xiaomi Mi Notebook Air is now official, and according to the WindowsCentral.com headline anyway, you will want to buy one. So they're going after the 13.3-inch MacBook Air, and it's apparently 13% thinner. I haven't actually looked at this
Seriously?
yet. 13% thinner and 11% smaller while managing to offer a similar sized screen.
Their laptop is called the Notebook Air. They couldn't like be even slightly creative. Are they going to get sued for that?
They should call it the Notebook Oxygen Nitrogen Carbon Dioxide mixture.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they should get sued for that.
So it features a brushed aluminum body, laminated 13.3-inch Full HD display, edge-to-edge glass, 6th generation Core i5, and an NVIDIA 940MX card. So it actually has a dedicated GPU, which, by the way, you won't be using to game on, but you could be using it to accelerate things like Adobe Premiere with Cineform codec video content.
Yeah.
Something that we have shown off in an Asus ZenBook in the past, though that ZenBook is not thinner than a MacBook Air, so that's pretty cool. It's got 2 USB 3 ports, an HDMI, one 3.5mm jack, and a USB-C port, and there's no Xiaomi branding at the front. But you can customize the front of the notebook with stickers.
Yeah.
Very cool. So here's kind of a cool look at like Starry Night as like a skin on it.
Do they have the rights to that?
I don't.
There's a lot of in this article. There's
that?
a lot of like you might need to be sued for that. Like, yeah,
it's China, so like wild Orient.
Yeah, but are they going to sell this in other places?
Yeah.
So yeah, they can get sued for that.
I don't know. Yeah, it's not my problem.
No, but like.
So this is...
no mentions as of now regarding availability outside of China.
There you go.
Okay, so
Vizio acquired by Chinese tech company LeEco for $2 billion. This is one of the sketchiest sponsor deals that we have ever turned down, by the way. You don't know about this. But I'm at the point now where I don't even want to know who they were or why they cared. But someone approached us about doing a sponsored tweet speculating that Vizio might be acquired like by a large tech company, and then putting like Google ? Apple ? And we were like, well, which one is it? And they're like, we can't tell you. And we're like, that's stupid. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
We don't know what your agenda is, but we don't like it. Don't talk to us anymore.
Good call.
And basically, and like, to be clear, guys, actually, this is something we almost never talk about. We almost never talk about sponsor deals that we turn down.
Yeah.
But it happens a lot because there's a lot of sketchy crap out there. And it's really interesting for us because we have that insider's perspective, seeing who took the deals. After, because you know, like, we'll see a tweet that doesn't have a sponsored hashtag on it, or like,
and it's the exact copy from whoever.
Yeah, so it's really interesting for us seeing who's on the take and being upfront about it and who's not. Unfortunately, I'm not getting involved in that kind of stuff publicly. I'm sorry. I'm sure the Twitch chat is already full of people saying, whoa, why don't you guys say no? Not going to happen. Just not interested in being like the next sort of whatever drama channel. But yeah, I'm really glad we didn't take this one, because I had a bad feeling about it, and I'm glad that I trusted myself.
Yeah, and who the hell even is LeEco?
They're huge. They're like a big deal.
Okay.
But
are they Google or Apple?
No, they're not Google. They're not Apple. But they're Chinese, and they're.
That's a pretty misleading tweet then.
Yeah. So, Vizio founder and CEO William Wang will continue to own 51%, and LeEco will own 49% of Inscape. Blah, 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 blah. So Vizio will be operated as an independent subsidiary.
Is Vizio still really like a thing?
And that's Vizio's data business, by the way. Oh yeah, Vizio's a thing. As far as I know, last time I checked, they were the #1 TV maker in the US.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not really as much of a thing in Canada.
Okay.
I don't know that they're still #1, but they were at one point.
Maybe that's my problem. I don't shop for TVs.
Yeah.
The last TV I got, I traded a friend an H100 and some Dominator RAM for it. And the TV before that doesn't exist. So that's my shopping for TVs experience.
All right. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about that.
Is that it? Is that the show? Is that everything interesting that happened this week?
I don't know. Apple sold its billionth iPhone, so like, good for them, I guess.
Good job. Dota 2 released full VR spectator suite.
Kind of terrifying, actually. Like, one iPhone for every 7 people on Earth.
Well, not. It's a weird way to look at it, because a lot of people would have just been replacing iPhones.
Oh no, I know. Again. I don't mean 1 out of every 7 people on Earth owns an iPhone. I just mean, like, if you were to like walk down the street, 1 out of every 7 of like as you just like walk and look at people, like every time you walk by 7 people, like an iPhone rolls off of a factory line. Okay. Like, that's kind of the visual that I had in my head.
That makes sense.
Oh, this is interesting. So the original article here is from overclock3d.net. NVIDIA's Pascal Titan X will not feature faster FP64 or FP16 performance. So this was one of the marks of the original Titan, was that it could handle double precision. I think not quite as well as a Quadro, but better than a GeForce, if I recall correctly. And so it was popular for CUDA programmers. It was for more than just gaming. But the new Titan X will be much like its Maxwell predecessor, and it will not have that feature. It is just an ultra-powerful gaming GPU and nothing more. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's pretty much all I have to say at this point. It's been kind of a tiring week. I have finished like nothing this week, but I have a lot of stuff on the go. I've got my USB Type-C versus Micro B head-to-head real-world how many plugs comparison. I've got a really cool idea for reducing the size and weight of the tether on the HTC Vive. So I've got that rolling right now. I've got the Predator G1 desktop from Acer. I've got the Gigabyte Aero 14 laptop. I've got, I'm sure there's other stuff that I've got on the go right now, but like this week has just been frustrating because I've worked on so much, but finished nothing. I've got what CPU should I buy? I'm finally, I can't believe I never did it before, but I'm finally doing what CPU should I buy? So I've compiled this ginormous like comparative database that I can use to kind of go, this one. If you're this person, this one. And like have that be like a really good final answer.
I got mostly scripted on 3 videos and then reached out for a comment from a particular company and they pushed it back, and then I pushed for that meeting and then they pushed it back again. So I just like wasn't able to do those 3 videos, which were like 2 reviews and then 1 like what the hell is going on with this thing video. So I lost like all my videos for this week. So that's cool. Although that means there will be easy videos later.
Yeah. The work isn't wasted.
Yeah, which is nice, I guess.
There's another really frustrating one for me. The Pimp My Wi-Fi episode 2. Basically, that call that I had just before we started the show, that was actually one of the reasons the show was a little late today. That call that I had confirmed that the problem is TELUS.
Really?
Once again in my life, TELUS has managed to screw me. Yep. So the wiring.
What is it?
Sorry?
What is it?
Basically, the problems that he was having with the system were not related to my system that I put in with help from Ubiquiti. That's running great. But his internet keeps bugging out because, and they've even replaced his modem at this point, but because the like wiring is bad. And there's a technician coming tomorrow, which is a Saturday, which means that whatever's wrong with it must be super wrong with it, because TELUS normally does not come out on a Saturday that I'm aware of. Yeah. All right.
Oh, also, someone in the chat speculated that what I was talking about was a Titan XP. It is not. I also got completely dodged on that, and at this point, I think they're just not giving us one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I asked 3 times, I think. No response.
Oh, okay.
So...
It's like available in like 3 days or something, isn't it?
August 2nd.
Yeah, okay.
So... I don't know.
Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. I gotta say, it was pretty refreshing not having any technical issues on the show. Huge shout out to Epiphan. And you guys can get used to hearing this over the next little bit, because they didn't do like a formal sponsorship, but they did provide us with the capture equipment. And I did say that I would definitely be giving them a shout out. We're actually planning still to rebuild the WAN streaming PC. So that's still going to be a thing that happens, and I'm going to give you guys more details once we've been through a number of seamless shows on the new capture cards that are just working properly. I'll give you guys all the full details about what we're using for the setup here. So there you go, guys. Apparently the audio's messed up now. Well,
a bunch of people are asking for after party. I will be doing mine like I normally do.
And I will be going home because I'm tired.
It's really hot.
Yeah, it's like super hot.
Sunburns make you really tired. I wonder what the science is behind that.
Sorry?
I wonder what the like science is or biology is behind sunburns making you really tired.
I don't know.
Yeah, but why do you get like tired? I don't know. Shaving stuff.